Greetings, pilots! Today's video is all about campaign, or to be specific, about some tricky missions in Episode 5 whose names alone can give nightmares to some of our pilots. If you're struggling with any of them, this video is for you. But do keep in mind that if you want to solve puzzles on your own, this video might spoil all the fun for you. So maybe consider watching some other guides on this channel, like the top 15 ships in the game or the one about containers. Each mission of Episode 5 will have you face alien ships. They might seem invincible at first, but just you wait, we will deal with them in no time. First of all, let's check our upgrades. Finishing most of the episode's missions will require you to get to level 60 or so. That's not very hard to do, and you can gather some menacing forces under your command by that time, even by only opening the basic containers. And if you do remember to regularly open the free, premium, and rare ones, you're just bound to have some very promising ships at your disposal. Naturally, you need to max out your hardware on the required ships. Ideally, you also want all of them to have at least 4 full stars, which also shouldn't pose any trouble, at least when it comes to the basic ships. The first point that may give you some trouble is Mission 3, called Planet Debris. Naturally, any mission can be completed with a whole variety of ship combinations. So here's one of them. Place Caltrop in the front, Storm Viking on the left, Boremis on the right, and Templar in the rear. You can get most of these ships in the earliest stages of the game, and if you don't have Boremis yet, that's okay too. You can use any other ship that can burn the enemy's energy or turn their ships off, like Wakizashi or Singularity, Nyx, Sombra, or even Joker from the basic containers. But in this case, you will want to add at least a couple more levels and stars to the entire fleet. As for our sample fleet, we will stick to Boremis for now. At the beginning of the battle, Storm Viking blocks the active ability of the rear enemy ship, letting Boremis and Templar deal with the front one, while Caltrop burns its energy and restores the team's shields. Easy win. The next 2 stages can be completed with more or less the same fleet, and then here we are. Mission 6, Iridium Deposit. Countless fleets were lost in this sector of the universe trying to vanquish the enemy alien scout. Let's avenge them all, shall we? We can use the same ships, Caltrop in the front, Templar in the rear, Storm Viking and Boremis on the flanks. The difference is that in this fight, Viking will block the forward enemy ship, while Templar and Boremis will focus on the rear one. After that, you should be fine all the way until Mission 16, Empire Ruins. This is the one where your tactics need to change. Templar gives up its place to a tank, for instance Octopus, which moves to the front row. Boremis gets to the rear, while Caltrop and Storm Viking take the flanks. During the early seconds of the fight, Viking blocks the ship in front of itself, while Octopus activates its shield. Great! You have officially survived the first hit. Meanwhile, Boremis one-shots the ship that's blocked by Viking, and then both of them switch to the enemy on the other flank. After that, only the central ship is left, and it's already bound by Storm Viking's leash. Ideally, the ships get to the second wave with their charges already full. If that's the case, Boremis can say hello by disposing of the Predator in front of your Storm Viking, which lets it focus on the other Predator from the get-go. Octopus activates the shield right before Alien Scout is ready to shoot. And there's only one enemy left to deal with. Congratulations! You've just completed one of the most complicated battles of Episode 5 using some of the most basic ships available to beginner pilots. Now you can get your Templar back instead of the tank. Just make sure to intercept the enemy rockets in time with your Caltrop. Finally, we find ourselves in Mission 20, Bione. This is the one where we recommend leveling up at least once and upgrading your ships as much as you can. This battle will not be easy. Front line. Take the good old Boremis. The rear is covered by Storm Viking, flanks, Templar, and an Engineer, Anaconda. Keep in mind that you won't be able to 3-star this mission at level 61. Your Templar is very unlikely to survive this fight. Well, here we go. Viking blocks the boss right off the start, while Boremis targets the ship opposing your Templar. Keep firing until the enemy explodes. At this point, your Viking will turn on for a second and block the boss once again for a short while. Use that time to finish the other flanking ship and focus on the boss. Just remember to activate your Anaconda between the shutdowns so that it can heal your fleet and give invulnerability to one of its allies. You will hardly complete this mission at level 61 without that. 3 out of 4 ships used in that fight can be found in the basic containers. As for Boremis and its analogs, that one can be a bit trickier. So if you're out of luck, or just want to prove your skills and finish this episode with basic ships only, well, that's possible too. For instance, you can take the aforementioned Joker instead, but you will need to climb a bit higher in your upgrades to succeed. By the final mission of Episode 5, you need to have at least a level 65 5-star fleet with all the best hardware installed. And don't hesitate to add more stars to improve your chances. You can find plenty of the required blueprints in basic containers, especially if you stick to our guides from the other videos on this channel and open 50 of them daily. Keep in mind that level 65 doesn't ensure you can win this at your first attempt. It's the lowest possible milestone for this particular group of ships, and if you get unlucky with enemy critical damage, you will have to try this battle again and again. If you really put your mind into it, you have all the chances. As for placements, we recommend something like this: Anaconda in the front, Templar and Octopus on the flanks, and Joker in the rear. In this instance, you can basically set the battle to auto, as Anaconda and Octopus will figure it out on their own. Joker will be targeting the boss and will shut it down from time to time with its passive ability, and Templar will deal with the enemy in front of it in several shots, and then help finish the boss. And by that time, there will only be one enemy left. This isn't the end of the campaign, and there are plenty more trials waiting for you all over the game, but this is the end of your journey as a beginner pilot. Climb up the levels, get more power and various ships, and have fun conquering Episode 6 and achieving more victories. That's it for today. See you in our next videos.